This is Professor Michael Chapman. I'm one of the most experienced IVF doctors in Australia. I believe that an important part that I can contribute is to educate patients in relation to fertility, infertility, and all that involves. These series of podcasts help to educate you. I hope they are helpful to you. If you wish to know more, however, I'm more than happy to have you contact me via email, which is profmchapman@gmail.com, or make an appointment to see me on 9138 4222.
Prof, in April 2025, Medicare expanded rebates by recognizing social infertility, opening access for single people and LGBTQ couples. What practical changes are you seeing in the clinics, and how are you providing your service differently?
Yeah, so that change in the Department of Health's view about women seeking pregnancy without a medical reason. I mean, if we go back historically, IVF Medicare rebates were primarily for women with a medical cause. We've now moved on, and the world today is a different place. There are many women, in either on their own or with a female partner, who want to have a baby, and in the past, Medicare has not been prepared to cover the costs of their treatment unless they had a medical problem. So what the new definition means that these women, this group of women, are now eligible for rebates from Medicare, which are substantial. We're talking about, for an IVF cycle, Medicare providing $5,500 of rebate for women who previously were unentitled to that. It's a great step forward. It's a realization that infertility is not about medical problems. It's a serious social issue. And just because women don't have a male partner doesn't mean that they're not entitled to the care or the rebates that Medicare provides. It's a great step forward. In terms of impact, I've certainly seen more women now coming forward and wanting to have donor sperm, for instance, and knowing that the costs to doing all that is going to be significantly less than it used to be.
Prof, on that note, what common emotional challenges do you see in this demographic, and how can they access psychological and counseling services to negotiate the roller coaster that is IVF?
Yeah, I mean, there's no doubt that IVF is a stressful process. It's not our fault as medical doctors that it's happened that way. It's the reality of life. Women are investing money, number one, but also investing the hope that they will have a baby in a situation where, in fact, the odds of a pregnancy in one embryo transfer are still in the order of 35 to 40%. In other words, 60 to 70% of women who come through an IVF cycle are not going to end up with a baby in that first cycle. I mean, the good news is that that individual cycle, if repeated, has the same chance of success. So cumulatively, the odds of having a baby grow the more times you go through the process. However, from a individual woman's point of view, she sets off on the cycle believing that she's going to be in the 30 to 40% success rate, not in the 60 to 70% failure rate. So there is an expectation which is, in most cases, unrealistic. There are some of my patients who, yes, I accept all this, but for most women, if you ask them, particularly when they've had 10 days of injections and we see lots of follicles and we're going to get lots of eggs, they think they're going to be pregnant. They're going to be in the 30 to 40%. We do the egg collection and we get 10 or 15 eggs, and the next day they are told by the scientists that there are 10 or 12 fertilized eggs. They totally believe that one of those is going to actually bring them a baby. But the reality, the sad reality, 10 days or 12 days later, is that only 30 to 40% of them are going to be pregnant. So we build up an expectation, not particularly us. Well, I do my best to try and get people to be realistic. But once we put an embryo back, everybody believes they're going to be the one that gets pregnant. But we come back to the basic statistic, 30 to 40%. Which is twice as good or even more than natural conception. I mean, we're better than average, we're better than nature in the IVF clinic, but we're not 100%. And we know some of the reasons why, but what we do know is that the more times you put an embryo in that looks good, the more chance you have of getting pregnant. So, if you have 4 embryo transfers and you're under 38, your odds of being pregnant and having a baby are over 80%. But that's 4 cycles of pain and financial pain as well. So what do we do to support that? Well, our nurses are particularly well trained to take you through that, to try and keep you realistic through that process. Each clinic is obliged by accrediting authority to have counselling services available for patients who are distressed. And I think we do provide good services. I mean, one of the fantastic things in our new clinic, we've been open for a year, we have a wonderful group of nurses who are experienced, who understand these issues. And one of the great things from my perspective as the medical director is at Live Fertility Clinic in Sydney, is that our patient satisfaction stories are way above what any clinic that I've been involved in the past. Our nursing staff are magnificent and they do hold your hand through the cycle.
And don't forget that you can access all the previous episodes by going to our website www.theivfjourney.com and select IVF Journey podcast from the navigation menu.